following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, why every man in my thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me, big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy, big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be, Jimmy Star's new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a great show for you guys today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We have BJ Mezek coming on the show and Robert Donovan. Both are in a bunch of movies that we go to the premieres of, and we love them to death. They think they're fabulous. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. And, I forgot to start this thing. Hold on. Oh, I guess it started already, though. Okay, good. And so before we get started, let's first just say hi to my cool, outrageous, gorgeous man about town, Mr. Ron Russell. Should I make it brighter?
What an opening.
Should we be a little brighter?
Could we go brighter? Yeah, why not? Let's go brighter.
No, we're pretty bright over here.
Pretty bright on the other monitor. Each monitor has a different tone because they're different computers. And we have 2 or 3 in this studio right now. But we're going to go a little brighter. There we are.
Okay, good.
Better. On the other one? Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Hi, everybody. We're raining again.
Yes.
And we're freezing again. And LA does not need any more rain because the sewers have backed up. And people are complaining that sewerage is coming back up in their toilets and in their sinks. Could you believe that?
And we're in Palm Springs for anybody tuning in who doesn't know. So
right.
We live in Palm Springs.
And we're pretty good because our river, we have a river here. And all our pipes are connected to the river, which goes out. I don't know where it goes to. Yeah, there's no ocean here. Astro, you're a bad boy. You can't come near. Oh, Astro, Prince. All right, Prince, a little fagatina that he is. You know why? Raining. And he won't go out to urinate or poo-poo. So guess what he did? He peed on the doors going into the living room, and he poo-pooed in the living room. So now I'm mad at him. And he knows it. He's a smart dog. He knew he'd do bad. He did bad. But he won't go, and it wasn't even raining. That's the
it's
best
just wet.
And guess what? There's a cover. Our entire patio has cover, so the rain doesn't go on our patio.
But it is wet though.
It is wet because it drips. It blows in with the wind. But right now there is no rain. I think the sun is trying to come out, and the prince, he's not going to.
Will not go out.
His little feety.
He will not go out in the rain.
He doesn't like to get his feet wet. I mean, he's really.
We were just talking yesterday how good he was doing. He hasn't pooped or peed in the house in a long time, and then it poured down rain, and now he's pooped and peed in the house.
But those little dogs do that. My big dog, the Shazam, the 130-pound guy, he knew how to go out. And Brandy girl, she goes out. They're very clean. But that little snot nose, boy, oh boy, he's spoiled silly.
And he's over looking at your computer now, trying to
figure out
how he's going to get over here.
He follows me around and he watches. He'll sit there and watch everything I do. Every movement I make, he moves his head. He loves me and I love him, but I'm angry with him.
Well, Cindy Lady Lake's in the chat room. Hey, Cindy. Ho. And she says that her dog is the same way. It hates the rain. And they have a little dog, Gizmo, and he's adorable.
But why do they dislike the rain so?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really like going out in the rain either. Huh? Well, we don't exactly like go hang out in the rain either.
Yes, but I don't think we would poop on the living room floor.
No.
I don't think we would do that. I'm sure I wouldn't. Possibly you may. I wouldn't.
That's freaking hilarious. So lots of cool stuff going on, you guys.
You ever have an itchy ear?
Oh.
I think I have to have. They sell that wonderful machine that I see on television. If any of you out there bought it, does it really work? The machine that you put in your ear and it pushes hot water in and sucks it out and it gets the wax out. I have wax buildup in my ears. I have my ears cleaned all the time. And I don't know why I manufacture so much wax, but I was thinking of storing it and making candles. Well, why put it to waste, right?
Oh my God, that's hilarious. You gotta love it.
Well,
So
it'd be Ron Russell candles. When they burn, they'll smell like me burning. Ugh, would have thought.
so in not this weekend, but the following weekend,
Mm.
we're spending the weekend in LA, and we're going to the birthday party of Ron's friend Danae Montague King. It's all formal. It should be a lot of fun, and then we're staying.
He is my dearest friend. I know him for over about 21 years. We've been buddies.
And then
He is the founder and the CEO of Janae Montague King Cosmetics, which are the biggest cosmetics in Europe. He's in Australia. He's in Germany. He's all over the world, and he has a few salons here. And he's very, very wealthy, and he's throwing a bash that's probably going to be $150,000, if not more, at the Ambassador Hotel.
No, Biltmore.
The Biltmore Hotel in LA, which is the equivalent to the Ritz Plaza in New York. It's going to be like a wedding. He did a after party for his movie that he has out, and that movie is called The Prince. The
Maybelline Prince.
The Maybelline Prince. It'll be soon out. It'll soon be out.
We saw at the premiere.
And we went to the premiere of the film, and then the after party was at the Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood. My God, white roses all over, 5 or 6 people walking around with hors d'oeuvres and canapes, all kinds of stuff they had, food, a band, a full orchestra band to dance to. And I said to Janae, that was quite an event. I've never been to an after party like it. And he said to me, wait till you see my birthday party, because he turns 80 years old, and he looks wonderful for 80. He looks about 65. So we're going to have lots of pictures of that, because it's going to be one of the highlights of us living here in California, probably the most beautiful party we've ever been to. Then we sleep over at the hotel, and the next morning we get up and we dress in tuxedos to go to the party, the Academy
Luxury Gala Oscar party.
Right, the Oscar party where everybody's going to be. So that's going to be fun. And then when that's over, about 11 or 12 o'clock, if we make it, we drive back to Palm Springs
and go to sleep.
To collapse. And if you're wondering about my dogs, my daughter Leslie will stay at our house and take care of the dogs while we're gone that weekend. We never leave our dogs alone. Ever.
So we want to also welcome Dawn Hinton joined us, and she lives in it begins with a B. Where did we go to shoot that movie with Caroline Williams when we met Felissa Rose and everybody?
That was up in Santa Clarita.
No, it began with a B. No,
it's
where are you from? Where do you live, Dawn? Anyway, Dawn says it's Hailing there where she lives.
Yeah, because she's north of Santa Clarita.
Bakersfield. She's in Bakersfield.
Bakersfield is very north. And yes, they had snow flurries in Stevenson Ranch in Santa Clarita, which is only 21 miles from Hollywood.
And she says it's hailing right now.
Yeah, so the weather is really
Stay
weird.
safe, Dawn.
Weird weather. New York is having great weather. We're having horrible weather. I have never, ever felt I've been in Palm Springs for over 20-something years, with the exception of a few years in Pennsylvania. But I have never experienced such horrible weather in California. I remember years ago, we all wore white and we swam. You could go swimming in the winter. It was beautiful. We had the best climate in the country. No longer. So a lot of stuff is happening to California that was not like it was years ago, which is making me very weary about living here. And
though it is snowing in New York now too.
Oh, snowing in New York. Well, that's expected.
But they're expected. But it's their first one.
Yeah, but that's New York. It gets snow, but California, Hollywood having snow flurries. This is ridiculous. There is climate warming, but how can it be climate warming if it's snowing? That would be climate colding, wouldn't it? I just think that the planet.
Climate change.
I saw on YouTube. I watch YouTube. I would love YouTube, and they were explaining how the Earth is on a tilt, and every time that we send off nuclear devices, the Earth shifts a little more, and it tilts. A couple of billion years ago, the Earth was straight; it wasn't tilted. And that's why the climate's changed. So I think that we are absolutely destroying our planet. And eventually, I believe we will destroy the human race if we keep it up. So I would suggest that we stop wars and we stop finding new bombs to blow up more people. and put that science and money towards cancer, AIDS, excuse me, and COVID. Let's get rid of all these things that are harming us rather than spending that money on bombs.
Anyway, tomorrow I'm super excited, and I'm probably going to be disappointed, but Ron and I and his daughter Deirdre are going to see Cocaine Bear. I know everybody else has already seen it because it's one of the biggest movies that are out, but I can't wait to go and see it. It's based on a true story. It's a horror movie about a bear who accidentally eats cocaine and kills everybody, and they didn't expect it to do well, and it did really well. Matter of fact, I think it beat Ant-Man and the Wasp for its second week, and so I'm looking very much forward to going and seeing that tomorrow night, since I like horror movies, and we don't go to a whole lot of them. I watch a lot of them at home, so it's going to be fun.
I don't think I'm going to like it because I don't like the subject matter, and I don't like the cruelty that they have to portray the bear. Of course, the bear is animated. It's not animated. It's, what do they call those?
Yeah,
like your
animatronic.
doll. It's an animatronic bear. But still, the imagery that I'm going to see is this bear, and probably they will kill it. And I just like animals being killed in film. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of movies where dogs have been shot, and you see the dead dog with the blood. And
we don't like that.
I get very upset.
We usually turn those.
I don't
off.
find that entertainment. So producers out there, stop shooting horses and dogs and bears. It's very upsetting to us who love animals, and I love animals. If I had a farm, I'd have every kind of animal known to man on it.
And we love dogs.
And I love dogs and cats and everything. But I don't think I'm going to like this movie at all. And then the mere fact that everybody finds it amusing that an airplane, they throw cocaine out of an airplane and the bear sees it coming down and he eats it. And the bear goes crazy from the cocaine and begins killing people.
It opens the door, though, for
filmmakers. I don't see point to it, sense to it. I just think it's a film of sensationalism.
But it's a true story.
I know it's it's a true story that Hollywood's doing. You know, I love these true stories they do in Hollywood, like the Valentino life story. I mean, that was such a lie. Everything in it was a lie, and also other autobiographies.
The Marilyn Monroe one, you had a heart. Was that the one?
The Marilyn Monroe one was a joke. I mean, Marilyn, no. So anyway, Hollywood loves to sensationalize everything. Like Rock Hudson had a black lover, and Rock Hudson went to the Academy Awards and announced that his lover was black. That never happened, and Rock Hudson never had a black lover. Rock Hudson liked young, blue-eyed, blonde boys. I knew Rock Hudson. So, you know, you're going to talk to me. You're talking to the preacher.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, though. It's fun.
I mean, I was a dark-haired guy, and I couldn't understand why Rock Hudson wasn't hitting on me because I was ready. I mean, Rock Hudson? Please. And he never hit on me, ever. He was nice to me and sweet to me, but he never hit on me. And then I said, what's with Rock Hudson? You know, I was young. I was way younger than he at the time. And it was after we shot an episode of McMillan and Wife. And someone said to me, oh, don't you see his boyfriend? I said, yeah. He had a boyfriend for a long time who was blonde, long blonde hair, and blue-eyed. He said, that's all Rock Hudson liked. I said, okay. And I went home and I cried for a couple of hours. And
then too bad you never met Cary Grant.
What?
And too bad you never met Cary Grant.
Oh, had I met Cary Grant, there would have been, the press would have gone wild. Lunatic young man attacks Cary Grant, jumps all over him, starts kissing him. That would have been me, the lunatic guy. You know, these are really sensational men if you're gay. And if you're a woman, you know, these men were men. Today, the stars we have in Hollywood are boys, and they behave like boys. But Rock Hudson was a man and acted like a man, and Cary Grant and all the great stars of Hollywood of yesteryear were men. Today, like I repeat myself, watch them when they act. They're 35 and 40-year-old boys. So a lot of women are complaining about that. I know because my daughters are single, and they say a lot of men they meet are boys. They dress like boys. They're 50 years old, 55 years old, and they dress with the short pants, tattoos, you know, the hat backwards, the engineer hat backwards, and they look like 18-year-old rap singers. And women are not interested in that. Women would like a man, a gorgeous man.
Which we have two men coming on soon. So,
Yeah, these two.
So BJ's here, you guys. We're going to take a quick music break. We want to welcome B. Claudia into the chat room. And so, hey, B in Germany. And we're going to real quick play Young Zuck, you guys. Let it go. When we come back, we're going to have BJ Mezek on the line. It'll be a lot of fun.
And a lot of 55-year-olds want to look like Young Zuck. And look, you look stupid.
No, you
Young
gotta be
Zuck
young.
is gorgeous. I mean, young, but
And he's young.
He's young. Yeah, I know him well. He's a very dear friend of ours, and he's the sweetest thing in the world. And he's a boy, and he dresses like a boy, and that's okay because he goes out with young girls. But a 55-year-old woman doesn't. Well, maybe some cougars.
Smile.
They would go out.
He's going to take a picture smiling. All right, everybody, check it out. Here's Young Zuck. Let it go. We'll be right back.
Don't tell me let it go. Yeah, woke up on a Sunday, thinking it was Monday. Can't remember last night, I just remember one day. A model on the runway, searching for the one thing. I'm just trying to kick back and maybe have a fun day. Don't tell me let it go. On the road, at the show, just for show. When you're only feeling down, you let me know. Don't tell me let it go. On the road, at the show, just for show. When you're only feeling down, you let me know. Like a model on the runway, searching for the one thing. Can't remember last night, but I know it was a fun day. Woke up on a Sunday, thinking it was Monday. I wanna do it all again. Remember just that one day. Don't tell me let it go. On the road, at the show, just for show. When you're only feeling down, you let me know. Don't tell me let it go. On the road, at the show, just for show. When you're only feeling down, you let me know. Don't tell me let it go. I did ditch you 'cause I had to get my time right. Feeling so good, see my pictures on the spotlight. You know it's through, you messed up too. Whenever you call, it's not going through. And now we're rocking at the show up in the nighttime. Feeling so blessed, like an Ivy from the lifeline. I'm up past two, I'm all drunk too. And that's just the truth. I woke up on a Sunday, thinking it was Monday. Can't remember last night, I remember one thing. Model on the runway, searching for the one thing. I'm just trying to kick back and maybe have a fun day. Don't tell me let it go. On the road, at the show, just for show. When you're only feeling down, you let me know. Don't tell me let it go. On the road, at the show, just for show. When you're only feeling down, you let me know. Don't tell me let it. Heart overload, heart made it go. Play my cards right, yeah, I will never fold. Gotta let it go, but you won't let me go. Baby, there's no faking, let my true emotions show. Trying to balance thoughts, put me in a different place. Found myself from being lost, I'm on the straightaway. Now I'm on the coast, chilling in another state. Cheers, let's make a toast. I woke up on a Sunday, thinking it was Monday. Can't remember last night, I remember one thing. Model on the runway, searching for the one thing. I'm just trying to kick back and maybe have a fun day. Don't tell me let it go. On the road, at the show, just for show. When you're only feeling down, you let me know. Don't tell me let it go. On the road, at the show, just for show. When you're only feeling down, you let me know. Don't tell me let it.
Yay, everybody, that's Young Zuck. The name of the song is Let It Go. He's got an album dropping later this year. I can't wait for it because I really like him a lot. And
I'm not a fan of rap, as you well know, but I like his rap because his rap is music and he sort of sings in with the music. He's not so, most rappers are, the music, not even that noise they make is different than the lyric. But Zach combines the lyric with nice music, and I like his rap. And I'm not saying it because he's a friend of mine. If he wasn't,
because he has a lot of friends who are rappers. He doesn't like their music.
Yeah, I mean, I tell my rapper friends, I hate your music, but make money. I'll never talk bad about you ever because I don't like talking bad about anyone. But
so let's bring on our guest. How's that?
Yeah, Zach is good. Yeah, let's bring our guest on.
All right, everybody. Now we're welcoming our first guest.
Who is it?
BJ Mezek.
Hey, like I didn't know. Where is he? There
Hey,
he is.
BJ, how you doing?
Oh, you got a beard.
I'm well, thank you.
He always has one.
Am I stuttering a little bit here?
No, you're good.
No, you can come
a little.
closer
Yeah, come a little closer if you
Come
can.
closer. Come a little bit
so we
closer.
can see your face.
There we go.
Did you have a beard always?
It's not a beard. It's a. goatee.
It's a goatee. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I used to have a goatee when I was young.
Sometimes you have it, and sometimes you don't.
It depends on the role. I just did an Alien Storm. I played the NSA chief and had to age a little bit. So off came the goatee, gray a little bit in the mustache, gray in the hair. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Change
that.
it.
So
Actually.
listen,
Hold on, let's do an
make
intro.
yourself a little louder.
Oh, let's see. Oh, that might be.
You know what? Let me switch to these. Maybe this will help.
If you could up your volume, it'd be better.
Is there a way to make him louder on or no? I have it on as loud as it goes because I'm on.
Is that
computer. Oh yeah, that's a little better.
okay?
I'm
Is
your volume up all the way?
It is.
Okay. So just speak up.
How
think.
Are you
I
talking?
can speak up. I've got a big voice. I could do that. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Are you talking to the computer or a microphone?
I'm into the microphone now. I've switched over to the headpiece.
Oh, you got one of those things around your neck, a lavalier. Okay.
There we go. All right, everybody. Now we want to
There we
welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, producer, writer, and fledgling director, DJ Messick. Hey!
How have you been? It's been a while. How long ago were you on our show?
Last July-ish, I think it was right
Death
before Death Count released. Yeah.
Right.
But we
right.
saw him at Bermuda Island.
Oh, I see you.
And we see him
I
at
see.
Tommy
I'm ta-
Knocker.
That's not
Mhm.
what I said. I said, how long has it been since you've been on our show?
So I want to tell you something, PJ. Remember the last time that you were on the show and we had everybody from Death Count on,
Mhm.
and right before the show, our computer took a shit for some reason, and we had to do it from my office.
Right.
So today, the same thing happened. At 11:30, the computer stopped working. I had to go get a different computer to do it on because we usually do it on a big 32-inch monitor so we can see everything. And I was like, that fucking BJ, every time he comes out, it doesn't work.
It's cool.
I wasn't going to say that, but you said it for me.
Now, did I like Death Count?
You didn't.
You
see
loved
Death
it.
Count.
You thought it was an
How come I
amazing
didn't- How come
film.
I didn't see Death Count?
Because I watched it. I watched it while I was working.
Why didn't you let me watch it?
Because I didn't think you would like it. It's really violent.
A lot of blood?
It's kind of like
There's
a
a
Saw movie.
lot of blood. Yeah, you
kinda like a
would
Saw
know.
movie.
Oh, I don't watch those movies.
No, we had him on.
You know what? Believe it or not, I'm going to be 83 soon, and I still have nightmares. If I see a scary movie before I go to sleep, I dream about it. Isn't that weird?
Not at
I mean,
all. I
my
do the same
age-
thing.
You know, I think
I'll
I'm-
actually put films on to go to sleep to induce dreams.
No, you would think someone at my age would be sophisticated enough and worldly enough that those movies don't matter. They do.
Yeah.
When I see guts and blood and eyeballs hanging out, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So Death
Oh,
Count.
yeah, you don't want that one, that one, that one, or that one, or that one. Then
But now what was he? He was in what?
Bermuda Island. We just saw
Yeah, you were-
Death Count.
No.
Night of the Tommy Knockers.
Oh, I love Night of the Tommy.
that was our
Knockers.
favorite one.
oh, thank
You
you.
know what? Richard Grieco was wonderful in it. Like I keep
Yes.
saying, he did nothing. He didn't even act. He didn't even have. He
He-
sat there and gave us faces that when they killed him, I was so happy.
Rich was in his
hated him.
element.
I hated him in that movie. He was.
but he was a good.
he was one. I mean, I love him as a friend, as a person. I love Richie.
Absolutely.
But, I thought he was great. Everybody was good. I wish that Sarah had more lines, and I wish they gave
Sarah wasn't in Night of the
And
Tommy
Tommy Knockers, Sarah had
No,
0 lines. Yeah.
Bermuda.
Oh,
I'm on
Bermuda.
Bermuda now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wish that Sarah had better lines or more lines. I think there were too many people in that film, too many people in the scene. It should have been less people and more concentration on you and on Sarah and who else was the lead?
I forgot who that lead guy because we had never met him before, but
Yeah,
he was really good.
John
What was
Wells.
his name?
Yes,
What's his
John
name?
Wells.
John Wells.
We're going to
John
have him
Wells,
on the
yeah.
show.
Yeah, he was
John
good.
is a
Like,
wonderful actor.
And also, I would have liked it better if you ran away from the monsters rather than ran after the monsters. I don't think Sarah French would run after a monster because I know
Oh, Sarah French is a bad ass. She will run into danger to save everybody else.
she's a wonderful actress and a very, very dear friend of mine, a close, dearest friend in the world. And I love her work.
I love the
But wait a
fact.
minute, I'm not finishing, and then you can have it. I really wish they would have showcased her better. Let's put it that way. I'm going to talk to the Mall brothers about it when I see them. I didn't care for Bermuda Island. It was okay. It wasn't great, but I really liked not the pictures when they come out of the pictures.
When they come out of the picture.
Marv-
Oh, Art of the Dead.
Art of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
He's not in Art of the Dead.
No,
Our
but-
next
No,
guest
no.
is.
I loved Art of the Dead, and I loved Tommy Knockers. Bermuda Island, I don't know. What'd you think of Bermuda Island working in it?
It was a fun experience. We went to Vieques, a little island off of Puerto Rico, to shoot all of the island scenes. The airport stuff was done in Anaheim. It was an experience. We had some fun. There was some bonding. There was some.
That wasn't the question. The question is, what do you
He's the
think?
executive producer of it. He's not going to tell you
No,
he
I
didn't
know.
like it.
No, you know what? No, you know what? You know what? I don't build up a film and disappoint an audience because they resent you for it.
Sure.
They hate you for it. I say the film is fun if you enjoy that sort of film, but it wasn't anything like Tommy Knockers or the other one. It wasn't. It was. I wasn't thrilled with it. It was okay.
We had some
It was
challenges that
fun.
we had
It
to
was
overcome.
fun. Huh?
So unfortunately, we had some challenges we had to overcome, mostly because of COVID, and that changed the dynamic quite a bit. So what we had to work with and what we had to shoot, I'm good with the film. I like the film. It's not exactly what Adam Worth, our director, wanted to go for, but again, with COVID and everything that went on, and it just wasn't what we were able to make what we absolutely wanted. But it's still a good film.
The film was good. It was the storyline that was weak for me. You know, how many more times are we going to see monsters killing people? Can't we get creative and do something else? Why don't we have people on Bermuda Island killing each other? You know, that I like better. Did you ever see?
You and I can talk about that off air. I've got something I'm in the process of writing that we can
Wait a
discuss.
minute. Did you ever see the movie And Then There Were None?
That's essentially where we're going with this other
I
one.
love that sort of an idea. I'm tired of monsters. I think monsters are played out. Superheroes like the Ant-Man, ridiculous. They're played out. Let's get back to making Hitchcockian films. Let's get back to getting films where
agree.
the audience doesn't know what's going on.
Mhm.
Sensationalism is boring now. We need to have stories. It's good scripts.
Ron's
Big
biggest
Hitchcock.
Ron's problem with horror movies, because they basically are all the same, and that's
Same.
just what makes horror movies work. You know, like Pinhead, Hellraiser, Freddy Krueger, all the different people, Jason, basically all the horror movies is just like,
All the same.
you know, you go someplace and somebody's killing people one at a time.
But you
And
know
so
what?
that's his thing that he doesn't
No,
like.
no,
But that's what the whole genre is built on.
I realize you want a bloodthirsty audience, and you got what bloodthirsty audience. But there are millions of senior citizens still alive today, like me, who are not bloodthirsty viewers. We would go to all your movies and have you would sell more tickets if you had a greater audience, not a specific audience. Now, the people that like the bloodthirsty that I've seen at many occasions, they're young, stupid, not educated.
That's not true.
No, mostly
No, that's
poor
not true.
backgrounds.
The reason it's the number one genre is because
It's
that's
because it's a number one moron media.
I
mean,
love it.
You put a sophisticated film out, possibly like Psycho with Janet Leigh. You're not going to get the audience today you got years ago, because people are not going to wait 10 minutes to see Janet Leigh get stabbed. And they want to see her get her tits cut off as well. No, today it's, you know what I'm saying. Let's get back to making real movies, guys.
anyway, because I like it. I like the horror movie thing. I've been a fan my entire
Well,
life.
that's what I said.
And I've got a doctorate. I'm
Stupid,
not stupid. I'm not
uneducated, jerky
uneducated.
people.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's
So
different
BJ.
categories of horror. There's gore, there's suspense, there's thriller. I grew up
thriller. I
Hitchcock
love
He likes
and
suspense. He likes suspense and
Yeah.
thriller.
Yeah, suspense. and-
big Twilight Zone fan.
Did you
Yes,
ever?
us too.
Did you ever see Marcel Waltz's Blind with Sarah French?
Absolutely, yes. I can't wait
I
for Pretty
love
Boy.
that
And I'm
movie.
actually
I love
attached
it.
to, I'm on That's a Wrap, not as an actor, but as a producer. And please, let's get that out as soon as we can. I know you've seen it. So it's
Oh,
I
I've
loved
seen
it.
it. I've seen it a
Amazing,
few times.
I love
Mhm.
That's a Wrap. And last week we had Monique on the show
And
talking about
Yeah.
it, and we love Monique, and I love everything Marcel does.
Marcel
yes,
does it like
absolutely.
Marcel's a little Fellini and a little Hitchcock. And I
Mhm.
love his films, and I love Blind, and I thought Sarah did a brilliant job on that one also by just
I agree.
not doing anything but being a blind woman. She was
Being
the
Sarah.
character.
Yes. So hold on,
And
let's
you
go
know,
back.
wait, let me.
You're mixing them up because he's talking about That's a Rap. She's not blind in That's a Rap. She's
No, I'm talking about
No,
Blind.
no, no. We're
Let's
crossing.
move
Sure.
it around. You're a good actor, by the way. I like your work.
Thank you.
No, really
Thank you.
serious. If I didn't think so, I wouldn't mention it because I don't.
That I believe
compliment anybody.
100%.
I never give compliments to people that don't deserve it. But I like your work. If you're in a film, I get excited. I say, "Oh, good. I like the way he works. He's a good actor."
Well, thank you.
I have to tell you too, like, because you're like really good in Death Count. So I didn't actually even know who you were until Death Count came out, and now we see you all the time, and we know who you are, and you've put out a phenomenal body of work. But you're like phenomenal in Death Count, and
You know what you are? You're a natural actor, which I like. Years
Thank
and
you.
years ago, like a million years ago, when I was young, starting off in the business, what's his name? I ran into him at a party in New York. The one that started the studio downtown. The old guy.
Harvey Weinstein.
No, the studio, the actor studio.
Oh,
Who ran that? Who?
Oh, James Lipton.
Who?
James Lipton.
No, not James Lipton. The Jewish guy, the old guy, the Marilyn Monroe friend guy. What the hell is it? Anyway, I ran into him at a party, and we were chatting, and he said to me, he said, "Ron, don't ever let them catch you acting, because then you stink. And I don't catch you acting. You are the character, and that's what I like about an actor. That's when I compliment an actor. When I'm not aware of the fact that you're acting, you're good. Have you ever seen actors that you know they're acting
Absolutely. All the time.
and they don't come across? The camera sees it.
Mhm.
So
I try to help with that as much as I can, and I'm certainly not going to bolster myself or any kind of false bravado. But when we're on set and you've got someone, especially someone who's inexperienced, and they are nervous, we just let's do this 3, 4, 5 times. Okay, In fact, one, and I won't reveal who it was, actually. And ironically, with the Tom Sizemore situation that's going on, Tom saved a
That's
scene
awful,
in.
poor Tom.
It's horrible. Tom
We
and I have
like
had many
Tom so much.
conversations. Love Tom to death, and
He's a
it's an
sweetie.
unfortunate thing. But he was on Tommyknockers with us, and we had a scene where an actor just was nervous, and Tom actually went over to the first AD and said, "They seem to be doing okay during rehearsal. Let's shoot the rehearsal." And that's the shot that we used in the thing. So Tom saved that entire scene for us. So it's getting that nervousness, and everybody that's new, as soon as that camera's on, they're, "Oh my God, what do I do?" No, you still do what you're doing. You're having a conversation with the person next to you.
I have never been nervous on a set in my life, not even when I was 19 and I was on a set with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. So that should have been a nervous time, right? I
Mhm.
wasn't, because I was confident what I was doing. What was I doing? I was an extra playing a soldier, standing there whistling at him. I mean, like, wow, what a role. But I mean, I was fascinated by the system. Back then, we had cameras the size of Volkswagens. We had a
Mhm.
million lighting, big cables underground, millions of people running around to get the shot ready. So to me, it was heaven. It was what I dreamed about. Today, I go on a set, I do my thing. If the director says change it around, I do my thing. If the director says I don't like it, I do my thing. Because at 83 years old, I can say fuck you to everybody. I am in the business 64 years. Please don't tell me how to act. Fire
Absolutely.
me. Fire me, but don't tell me how to act.
Mhm.
they might tell you though, like they don't like a mannerism. or
if
something.
I
You don't
do
say, "Fuck
something
you."
really terrible, I listen. But if they want me to listen, I'm sure like you, as I've said this a million times, I work in a mirror. Before I ever go into production, I see my character in a mirror. Make sure this works. Make sure that works. Make sure this works when I do it. So I am so rehearsed and so into the character that when I do it, I really don't like a director giving me his vision of the character, because he's not the actor. I'm the actor. You hired me to do what I do best, as they hire you, right?
Right.
You agree with
Well,
this?
Yeah, and that takes me back to Tommyknockers again, where Richard Grieco's character was written as Kevin Costner's character in Silverado, kind of the slapstick, buffoonish
I
kind
thought
of.
of Clint Eastwood.
And Rich came in and said, "Nope, I'm seeing Pale Rider."
Yeah.
And that's how he played it.
Yep.
So, and it would have been a different film, but again, he nailed it.
I
love Rich to death.
I loved him in that movie. I wanted to smack him around.
Hang on, here's what-
So I told him, when we saw him, I told him, I said, "You're lucky I don't smack you around. I hated you in that movie. You were so nasty. You were so evil. You were so cold. You were so rotten." He
You were
said,
so
"Really?"
good.
I said, "And you were so fucking good." Richard's a wonderful guy. We like him a lot.
Yeah, it was a fun
Hang
shoot.
on, here's what I want to do with that though, then, because so people can see it. You introduce it for us, BJ. We're just gonna play the trailer for everybody so they
What are
can
we
kind of
watching?
see it. The Night of the Tommy Knockers trailer.
Oh, good.
All right, Night of the Tommy Knockers, starring
Everybody
Richard
great
Grieco and Tom Sizemore, Angela Cole, myself, and Jessica Morris. How can you forget Jessica Morris? And I just found out that it is now free on Amazon Prime if you have it.
Yeah, awesome.
Everyone watch it. It's really a good movie.
Check out the trailer, you guys.
And film.
You guys ever hear of the town of Deer Creek? They've been finding gold in the dry diggings mines on the outskirts of town. There it is.
Let's be professional. Go and do our job.
No tellers.
Something doesn't look right.
Get inside. They're coming. What's coming?
You don't want to know.
We best get out of here, huh?
How long has this thing been going on?
The attack started 3 nights ago. They came out of the mines. They called them Tommy Knockers.
Started with the miners.
Then they had the livestock, bank workers, just about everybody in town.
Welcome to our nightmare. They came for the gold.
Get your ass inside!
We gotta find out what the hell these creatures are.
We need to put that thing out of its misery.
We may not beat him. We're gonna fight him.
Got any dynamite around here?
Should be an interesting night.
Was there Marilyn Monroe? Everybody went to Actors Studio.
Anyway, hold on.
We can't find the guy. Listen, Actors Studio in Manhattan, where Marilyn Monroe went, Marlon Brando, Paul Newman. Everybody from my era went to Actors Studio, and the coach was the famous guy who has a daughter who was an actress, and we can't think of his name.
The chat room is putting a million names,
And
but
he
they're
is
talking
the
about
most
the
famous
TV show.
person in the world.
So
it was his name before the Actors Studio.
anyway, so you guys, that's Night of the Tommy Knockers, starring Richard Grieco, Tom Sizemore, obviously B.J. Mezek. He was great in the film. Jessica Morris, Robert Donovan, Sherry Davis, Robert Lasardo. And I have to tell you, besides you and Richard Grieco and Jessica Morris was really good, but you know who kind of stole it at the end was Denny Nolan.
Denny Nolan. That is probably Denny's greatest role at this point. He just absorbed into it. And I failed to mention Robert Lasardo earlier, and I apologize, Rob, if you're watching. But Denny, that scene, I applauded during the premiere because I knew it was coming. I'd seen it probably 100 times, but oh my God, it's so good.
No, he's hilarious.
He was wonderful.
We met him because he's in the Clown Motel movies, and so we know him. But
So I know him, and
but like in this movie, he was really, really good.
I was surprised because I've seen him, and I worked with him, and I was surprised at what he did. He was really good.
So
everybody, again, I'm going to say, please, if it's raining and snowing where you are, go and find Tommy Knockers.
You just said it's free on Amazon Prime.
Free? Oh, free! Oh my God!
It just came out like
free?
2 days ago on Amazon Prime. Yeah.
Please,
Bermuda
go to
Island is
Amazon.com.
still Death Count is on
Prime,
Tubi.
whatever the fuck it's called, and it's free. Watch it; you'll enjoy it.
You gotta love it. So I'm gonna brag a little real quick. Okay, so you guys, BJ's done first of all, he's like the hardest working guy in Hollywood. I went on his IMDb. He's got 15 films in post-production. That means they already shot them. They just haven't come out yet, which is a fucking lot of films, dude, to have in post-production in like 2 years. Some of the films you will be seeing him in that haven't come out, besides Death Count, which you definitely want to see, you guys. It's really, really good. It's kind of a little bit like a Saw movie. And then there's this other movie called Would You Rather that I don't know if anybody has seen, but basically it's kind of like has that same premise. And it's a very good movie, and you guys will really like it. And Death Count has Costas Mandylor, Michael Madsen, Robert Lasardo, Sarah French, Devaney Pinn. I think Denny Nolan was in that one too, actually. And it's really, really good movie, so you guys should check it out. He's got Amber Road that I know had a premiere not too long ago with Alyssa Dowling, Jed Rowan, William McNamara, Robert Lasardo, Mike Ferguson, and Vernon Wells. Everybody's been on our show except for Robert Lasardo.
All our friends are in that movie.
Alien Storm, he just shot with Kevin Sorbo. How was Kevin Sorbo? He seems really cool.
Kevin was awesome. I had a real good conversation with him and really put you at ease in a scene.
Kevin Sorbo's Hercules, so you know.
Who's Hercules?
Kevin Sorbo.
Hercules. I mean, Hercules
Andromeda.
No, the TV show. There's a fucking TV show on TV for
I've never seen it.
Years. Okay, anyway.
I know Hercules the myth, but I don't know the show.
The TV show. He was Hercules anyway, you guys. So also in Alien Storm, Donna Lee Heising, Tom Arnold, Mike Ferguson,
stop.
Devaney Pinn.
Stop. Donna Lee Heising. I work with her. She played my wife. I love her so much. She is the sweetest little cookie. Donna, you're a good actress too, but take some of the makeup off.
He told her that on the show too. Don't worry.
I love Donna. We're working again, I believe,
She's a
together in another film. Yeah.
You guys, Denny's also the executive producer on Marcel Wallace's That's a Wrap with Serena Vincent, Monique Parent, Dave Sheridan, Robert Donovan, Sarah French, Jed Rowan, and a bunch of other people. I can't mention all of them.
And let me say something about that movie. I cannot give it away, but if you're a snoop and if you're a yenta, watch it, because it's all about Hollywood. It tells you all about the people in the business.
It makes a lot of fun of Hollywood.
Not the good people. Wait, not the good people in the business. Kind of the bitchy people in the business. That when that comes out, folks, watch that film. And he was good in it also.
He's not in it.
He's not in it.
He's executive producer.
I was amazing in it. I was transparent, and I played the ghost, and you never saw me.
What? You sure he wasn't in it?
I'm positive. He's the executive
pretty
producer.
sure I wasn't in it.
I thought you were in it.
He was at the premiere, but he just wasn't in it.
Well, 83 years old soon. What the fuck do you want? Sensibility? I thought you were in the film. I'm sure probably at the premiere. I assume. Yeah. Okay.
Also, you guys, he's got Bloodthirst, Bridge of the
Let me say
Doomed.
one more thing. I see so many films that I get confused. They're all blending together.
Absolutely.
I see 2 a night. Every night, 2 a night. How much is that a year?
A lot of films. Yeah, when we're not going out, we watch 2 movies
65 times 2.
Yeah, we've seen a fucking lot of movies.
So I get confused who's in what and where.
So what I think people maybe don't know about you that I thought would be fun to talk about a little bit, because we know you're a producer, an executive producer, you're acting in a bunch of great films. You just directed something for your first director thing, but I don't know if people know you're a writer, and you don't write just horror movies. Like you have a Christmas movie, Shine Boy Salvage Yard. How do you pronounce it? Chaman, Shaman Island?
Chaman
Island, a Texas ghost story, Come On Down for Christmas. So like you're writing all different kinds of things, not just not just horror movies. Let me ask you a question. Are you a fan like before you started being in a million horror movies, like were you a horror movie fan ahead of time?
I was. In fact, I was on the crew that built the haunted house in Seattle for the local radio station and children's charity. And that started when I was 12 years old. But I've always been into horror movies, and growing up in the Friday the 13th era. Oh yeah, quite a few.
So what are some of your favorite like horror movies that you're not in?
Oh, that I'm not in. Oh my gosh. Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
I guess you got to throw that out there just for prosperity.
The original Night of the Living Dead.
The original.
I love that movie.
Some of my favorite. And I mentioned this the last time I was on the show. It's called Ghost Town, and it was a B independent. Never really went anywhere. I love the storyline, and would love to redo it, but I'd have to get the rights to do it.
Right.
How about Hitchcock Psycho, the original?
Psycho, love Psycho.
Loved it.
The Birds, just about anything Hitchcock. You just can't go wrong. North by Northwest.
I love North by Northwest.
Tippy, I know Tippy. Tippy's a pal of mine, and we spoke off camera. And Tippy said The Birds was the most difficult film to be in because they really were throwing birds at her. And
Wow.
she said to me, she said, only an actress who's beginning her career will allow it. She said that any superstar would never have allowed it. She was really bitten by birds. Yeah, they were throwing live birds at her, like so many guys, like 10 guys are throwing birds, and she was afraid that they would get her in the eye.
I bet.
Really?
I also wrote down that you did an episode of the, and I didn't even know this TV. I don't know if this TV series is out, but the Herbert West Reanimator. I mean, I know the Reanimator movie. We've had a bunch of the people on it on our show. So what they're making a TV series based on
Brian Barsuglia, who did Amber Road. He's doing the series. In fact, I'm going to LA next weekend to film my scenes for, I think it's episode 2 or 3. I'd have to look at my script, but and Mike Ferguson's in that as well. And if it if it plays well, if it launches, then I'll have a recurring role and enjoy working with Brian. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, kind of excited. I do remember the original. In fact, when he brought it to me, I went and looked it up, I think on Tubi or Amazon. And just to refamiliarize myself with the Reanimator stuff. And yeah, I'm excited.
That's a great movie.
Mike Ferguson is a hoot. He scares the shit out of you if you look at him. You think he's going to kill you. And if you get to know him, he's a pussycat. He's the sweetest guy in the world. We love him a lot.
You know, the funny guy. We were FBI agent partners in Amber Road, and it was the first time I'd ever really worked with Mike. I'd met him a couple of times, but actual scenes with him, and people were telling me about his intensity and he will take the scene and not in a bad way. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll play with this. And he was as subdued and I don't want to say subservient, but it was, brother, whatever you wanted me to do, I'm doing it. Like, okay. Cool. Well, let's have fun then. So no, it was wonderful to work.
That's evil. Well, go watch That's a Wrap, because we're talking about bitches like that in the movie. So That's a Wrap is telling whoever said to him that Mike Ferguson was crappy.
No, he said takes over the scene, and
well,
not in
crappy,
a bad way.
But not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way. He's
listen,
just his presence, he takes over,
listen, if you're a scene stealer, it's crappy.
He's
right? Crappy people steal scenes. You're working as a team. And if you know what, it shows in the movie. It ruins a movie. If the set is not a happy set, the movie shows it. You know that.
Very true. Very true.
I think
everybody is equal. Everybody has to listen. I'm going to be working with a very major star soon. I'm playing his father. Super duper star. If this son of a bitch says I'm not allowed to look at him or talk to him, he's in for a lot of trouble with me. Oh,
I've had that happen a couple times, and it never worked well.
Right in the face and say, "I'm talking to you now. What are you going to do? Have you thrown off the movie? Like I give a shit?
Mm-hmm.
I've already shot 3 scenes. They're not going to throw me off."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we put our pants on the same way. You know?
Huh?
We put our pants on the same way, triple Lindy and a twist. So what makes you better than me?
Oh, Cece Sykes, who's a dancer, a good friend of ours, was doing a video with Jennifer Lopez. And the director went over to Cece and all the dancers, and they said, do not look at her and do not speak to her. She doesn't like it. Mm-hmm. So Cece's this little cute black girl, skinny little black girl, adorable, with a mouth bigger than her body. And she let Jennifer have it. She said, listen, you're Puerto Rican from New York, no big deal, or whatever. And Jennifer, I guess, respected her for it. Because she wasn't thrown off the film.
The video. I love it. So wait, let's go back to the writing. Okay, so have you always been writing? I noticed that you had some things that you wrote a long time ago. You got a lot of things you're writing now. And how are you coming up with all the ideas, or do you work with people, or tell us a little bit about it?
Probably the first thing I actually wrote screenplay wise, I was in middle school. And it was a horror movie, as a matter of fact, and it never came to any kind of fruition. So recently what we've got, the Christmas one, is probably the worst words in it are hell and damn. And it's a feel-good redemption. It's not quite for Hallmark because we've got one scene that involves drugs and guns, so Hallmark won't touch it. But it is something. The friend of mine that I did haunted houses with in Seattle wrote it, sent it to me a couple years ago, and I read it. It's 157 pages. Like, we got to cut this down. So went in and played with it. So co-wrote it basically. Chalman Island, that's one that I'm doing completely. That was actually an idea, or came from an idea in a conversation about Bermuda Island.
Okay.
Currently writing with Adam Worth, who wrote Alien Storm, and his directorial debut, as I'm looking at my pictures here, for Bermuda Island. We are co-writing the next Mahal film, hopefully to be shot in July.
Awesome.
That is a pirate film.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so not much more I can go into on that, but we're having some fun with it and developing characters.
We haven't seen a lot of pirate films,
not since the 1970s, 60s.
Besides Pirates of the Caribbean, there haven't been a lot of pirate films.
Not too many, yeah.
Not at all.
I like the idea though of the Christmas film. Like, so I'm producing a bunch of films, and I've got I've got a great Christmas film. It's a family film. There's no cussing in it.
I love the script.
Called Quigley 2. It's a sequel.
Wonderful.
The first one did really, really well. And so I like,
I like the part I play. I play, guess what?
A mobster.
Head of the mob. What else? With my Brooklyn accent and my tough way, I play a mob boss, which I always play anyway.
But I think it's fun to do everything. I mean, my favorite movies to watch are horror movies. But I think that as a producer and stuff, I like, venturing out. So I've got like a romantic comedy that I'm working on called My Porn Star Wife that looks like it's gonna go good, and it's basically Pretty Woman. It's basically kind of like
Isn't
Pretty
it a
Woman.
True story?
Yeah, it's based on a true story.
Based on a true story.
And then I've got a couple horror movies.
That's a good script also.
I got a couple horror movies, and I got a couple family movies. So I want to do a little bit of everything.
And my movie.
And we have Ron's movie, which is a black comedy.
Yes.
So it's fun. So what do you like to do the best out of all the different things? If you were only going to get to do one of them, what would you pick to be?
As in genre or job on set?
Job on set. What's your favorite job on set?
It was by accident that I got back in front of the camera. Michael Sue was part of that accident. And as much as I enjoy being in front of the camera, I really like being behind the scenes. I served as production manager, supervisor for Alien Storm and Bermuda. And I just like keeping things together, which is why I only had really one scene in Alien Storm, so I could focus on all of the pots in the sink in the background there. So yeah, I'd have to say the producer side. I really enjoy the producer side. Directing was fun. I had a lot of fun. It was just a short, and I say it's my trip to the batting cage. Let me take a couple swings, see how it feels. And it was fun. It's a political one. That should be interesting.
Oh, that's fun.
It's based on the 2024 election.
Okay.
And it's a horror, which I think is going to be a horror show anyway, but it's a horror movie based on that. So, but yeah, I think behind the scenes, I have a lot more fun.
Don't you want to do other than a horror? I know I'm only doing horrors and I'm not happy. I want to go into a normal or not a normal, but a traditional movie where I can use my acting ability again.
Absolutely.
Because in horror movies, they really don't need you to act. I mean, they hire people who aren't even actors, first timers in a film, and you could spot them a mile away. But I want to be in a film with major actors again, like I did years ago. Don't you feel the same way?
I do. I would love to work with Kevin Smith.
Who?
Oh, wow,
Kevin
that's
Smith.
funny.
Who?
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
I'd love to work with Kevin. I'd love to work with Matthew McConaughey, and his diversity from drama to comedy to slapstick and just everything in between. So yeah, I would love to branch out, the holiday one or the Christmas one. But horror attracts probably a bigger audience because it translates to every language. You don't have to know what's being said to know that they got killed or they're getting ready to get killed.
That's right.
Well, there's no dialogue in horror movies. It's mostly visual. And if the dialogue it's weak dialogue. I was on a film where I played a mafia gangster, and there was a line in it. I don't remember the line, but I'll give you a make-believe. This is a mobster, tough killer, saying, gosh, oh gee, golly, I can't. And I looked at the director. I said, who the fuck wrote that line? In Brooklyn, nobody ever said that. If you did, they thought you were a faggot and they beat you up. So the director said, what would you do with it? And I said, let's do it this way. And the line was, I think they cut it from the film, but I love the line. It was, oh, you mean them dirty coffee cups that smell like dirty ass?
Yeah, they cut it out.
They cut it out. Oh, you mean them coffee cups that smell like dirty ass? And I thought it was a wonderful change, because I remember coming from Brooklyn and going to diners. Sometimes the cups did smell like dirty ass. And that's why Churchill, who was the director at the time, wrote that. And he put that in. And I loved it. But
I want to go back real quick. I want to give a shout out to Michael Sue, because I do think out of all the indie directors that he's definitely one of the, he's probably in the top 5, with along with Marcel. I think he's way up there. I think he's super talented. Wasn't he the director of Death Count? I think he was.
He was director of Death Count, Tommyknockers, Bridge of the Doomed, wound up having to direct Bloodthirst because of COVID, and DP'd a bunch of the other ones as well. But yeah, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I would go and watch Michael Sue direct Traffic. I just love Michael to death. We have this joke that we have this 32-year friendship that took 28 years to find out about because of a film we worked on in the 90s that we were both on but didn't know each other then.
That's
singles.
funny.
what I want to say about Bermuda Island is it was very well filmed very well.
Yes, and he was our DP on
Sarah
that.
French, beautifully half naked under the waterfall, was very beautiful. It wasn't porno. It was not hard. It was very classic. And I appreciated the fact that they showed Sarah looking classy and not sleazy.
Right.
That's a wonderful scene in the movie. But the photography was beautiful.
Yeah.
The scenery was beautiful. The score was good. So everything was really good about it, except I thought there were too many people, not good actors, and you should not be running after the monsters. Other than that, it's a good film.
Sure. Yeah. And I got to throw Adam Worth in there, who just directed Bermuda and also directed Alien Storm and wrote Alien Storm, which we just wrapped on. But Adam is another one that is right there, in my opinion, with Michael Sue. Not as a cinematographer, but as a director, certainly as a first AD, and a writer. And we were writing together on this next one. And
I don't know him. I've never met him.
I don't think I've ever met him, but I through the grapevine, I've only heard good things about him.
Good.
I've heard really good things about him.
Good guy, super good guy. Yeah.
I love it.
But we've never met him.
Okay, so then tell us. So you already told us somebody who you would like to work with. Who's a female actress you'd like to work with? And then if you could have been in, I'm going to change it. If you could have been in any horror movie ever made, since you like horror movies, what horror movie would you have liked to have been in? But then also give us some females that you think would be fun to work with.
Currently, or from...
It can be living or dead, or a living and a dead.
I would love to work with Sophia Loren. Anne Margaret. I've always been an Anne Margaret fan.
Oh, I like Anne Margaret too.
I think Tommy was probably a very fun set to work on, minus the mirrors and straws, I'm sure, for my part. Currently, gosh, I've worked with Devaney Penn, love Devaney to death. Sarah, love her to death. Sherry Davis, worked with her quite a few times. Angela Cole. But current ones, wow, that's a good question.
They don't have
which
to
really wasn't part of it, but yeah.
They don't have to be in horror. Like you could pick, Angelina Jolie or Charlize Theron, or like any actress that you think would be fun to work with.
I want to insert this. Sophia Loren is one of the nicest, most down-to-earth, charming women I've ever met in my life. She was a doll.
That would be nice to. That would be nice to do.
Three days I worked with her, and she was wonderful.
Good
actress.
And Ron, I know how you are about name dropping, and it's not name dropping. It's part of the conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and say it this way. No. It was something you had posted a while ago.
Business. Yeah. Why do you think our show is number one? Because I tell people about movie stars, and they come in. They don't want to hear about the plumber that just put my sink in.
No. Yeah, because if John Smith did this, they don't know who John Smith is. Yeah. So someone who is a dear friend of mine, and we've been trying to find a project. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge is Charlene Tilton.
Oh, that's a cool one.
We
Charlene
every
Tilton.
time we speak, it's what are we going to do? Do we have a project? And because of a lot of the indie stuff, of course, most of it's not SAG. She can't do non-SAG, and I absolutely respect that. But I would love, and I'm waiting to do a project with Charlene. If we can
She's
get
from
something
Dallas,
together,
right? That's
absolutely. Yep.
She's supposed to be going to the Oscar party we're going to.
Right.
Oh, I know she's got a couple of Christmas ones out recently. In the last couple of years, she's done some Christmas stuff. In fact, well, I shouldn't divulge that. We're supposed to be vacationing at the same time in the same location, my wife and I, and she, and hopefully Cherish, her daughter, dependent on if she gets her shoot schedule for that time frame, which would cancel it again. She was supposed to go with this last year and wasn't able to, but currently, yeah, I'd love to work with her. I've worked with Tara Reid. Tara was actually a delight to work with.
Oh no, she's cool. Yeah,
cool. Tara's great.
I want to go back to your wife. So I love your wife.
Yeah,
you have the coolest wife ever, and your daughter is gorgeous. You have a beautiful wife, a beautiful daughter. Your daughter seems like you've raised her extremely well.
Thank you.
And so it was a pleasure to meet them and talk with them.
And the saying that they say, behind every great man is a great woman. That's
absolutely.
He married a great woman. She is very, very much a part of his career and who he is. She's not a selfish woman. What about me? What about me? Mm-hmm. It's all about him. It's all about him. I get that from conversation with her.
She's fabulous. Yeah, she's just wonderful.
She's a nice lady. You married well. You did a good job. I don't know why she married you, to tell you the truth. I think she
that boy did good.
Richer, but she fell in love.
Sure. Yeah. I guess the second part of that question was, what horror film would I want to be in? Man. Any of the Friday, you know what? Hellraiser, I think, would have been a lot of fun to be in.
Yeah.
What movie?
But any of the Friday the 13th, Freddy, what was that? Nightmare on Elm Streets. Those would have been fun, I think. But to be a part of, wow, maybe the original Halloween.
Oh yeah, the original Halloween would have been a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I think that's probably. I like all the franchises, and I have because I have an extensive action figure collection, and I have from all of them. But I think that the Halloween franchise is my favorite of all of them, and then probably Hellraiser. Because I'm friends with all the people from Hellraiser.
And if I were to answer that question, I would want Tony Perkins' role in Psycho. I would have loved to have played that part.
Mm-hmm.
That was some hell of a part, especially back in 1960. That was a shocking movie.
So tell everybody.
You know Ben Stauber?
Yes, very well.
Who?
Ben Stauber.
Yeah.
And you know where Ben's at these days?
He's he lives in LA now. What do you mean?
Ben is Norman Bates on the Universal
Studios.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. I saw that on Facebook. He's playing.
Very happy for him.
Yeah, that's very cool. Good for him. He's a really nice guy, and he always wears such fun suits.
Absolutely, yes.
He could look like Tony a little. Tall and skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very cool. So tell everybody what movies, because you have a great backdrop there. What movies are out for people to see now? I know Bermuda Island and Tommyknockers are out.
Let's see. Death Count's out. Bermuda's out. Tommyknockers, Amber Road, Bloodthirst. We're waiting to hear from Lionsgate on what they're going to do. Wolf Hollow releases April 1st. Crust, we are in pre-production on. That's Sean Whalen from People Under the Stairs, Twister.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let me turn this a little bit, see what it does for me. Hey, looky there. So we've got Arena Wars, which is in post, and we should be done with soon. And then Haunted Studio is Chris Sanders over in the UK. It was the first time I'd ever gone over the pond to film, and a great experience. Had a lot of fun with it. A little bit of a departure of a character for me, kind of. I'm a little more subservient to my trophy wife.
Okay.
But those are all either out or coming out. Plus, the political one is a short. A segment for an anthology coming out. We filmed 2 of them already. We've got the 3rd one getting ready to go. So that's going to be probably next year before that comes out. Gosh, I'd have to look at my own IMDb.
No, you have a lot.
just to
That's a
see.
lot. I just
Yeah.
want people to go and see the things that, because I know a lot of them just recently came out. So number one, we want to say it's always fun to see you at all these events that we go to. You and your wife, it's always such a pleasure. Congratulations on all the wonderful things you got going. 15 films in post-production is awesome.
Yeah.
So congratulations on all of it. I can't wait for people to actually see That's a Wrap whenever it comes out.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
And Tommy Knockers and Bermuda Island.
Tommy Knockers now, you guys, and Bermuda Island now. They're both out. So check out
Yeah.
Tommy Knockers on Amazon Prime, everybody. We want to thank you for coming on. Please give our best to your wife and your daughter.
I will do that. Thank
and
you.
I'm sure we're going to see you soon.
And we'll see you at the next red carpet.
Absolutely. Guys, have a great day.
You have a wonderful
Thanks,
time.
PJ.
Thanks, guys.
Good talking to you again. Good
You
seeing
too.
again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
Good to be seen.
Bye-bye.
Yay!
Bye.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's a great
super
guy.
cool.
We only know nice people. I don't like bad people. Bad people I dump immediately.
So real quick, you can hear the Jimmy Star Show on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Prime. We want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. We're going to take a quick music break and play Emblem 3 Sunset Boulevard, and when we come back, we'll be with Robert Donovan, our next guest. So please, everybody, enjoy Emblem 3 Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, yeah, the sauce.
Horn. Oh,
That shit will kill you.
Let's take a trip to Sunset Boulevard in the city of stars. The city of blinding lights and starry eyes. I said, no, welcome to the city of angels. Oh, 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 oh. The city of angels. Oh, 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 oh.
I love my women like I love my juice. Naked, all natural, no preservatives or fakeness. I like my ladies like I like my Brady's and bunches. Got the six pack, I ain't talking about the crunches. Hit it till I quit it like Tyson's punches. That's how you gotta rock if you wanna punch it. I swear, make it less busy. Buzz cute Betty got me dolly dizzy. I'm lost in her eyes like, oh my God, where is she? Down here in SoCal, we getting busy in the city. Getting busy in the city.
Let's take a trip to Sunset Boulevard in the city of stars. Yeah, city of blinding lights and starry eyes. I said, welcome to the city of angels. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. City of angels. Whoa, oh, oh, oh.
A bright future reflects off my aviators. Here's a peace sign going out to all my haters. High five, keep done, no hurt hand when we get samples at Yogurt Land. Then we chill smooth, talk about Betty Blondie. Kill Bruce, play Call of Duty Zombies, yeah. Starting to get the best of me while she makes her mind up whether she wants me to wrestle.
Let's take a trip to Sunset Boulevard in the city of stars. Yeah, city of blinding lights and starry eyes. Welcome to the city of angels. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. City of angels. Whoa, oh, oh, oh.
Hey, everybody, that was Emblem 3. They were on the show. I loved having them on the show. They were so much fun. A little bit younger than our demographic, but they were a lot of fun. So,
Well, we have young people that watch our show. Of course we do. People that know us, especially.
So, all right, you guys, now we're ready to bring on our next guest. His name is Robert Donovan. Let's make sure. Hey!
There you
How
are.
How are you?
I'm great. How about you guys?
We're
Good.
terrific. All right. Now that we know we can hear you, we're going to look, you put a jacket on. You look nice. Okay.
You look
Now we
great.
want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, producer Robert Donovan. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're looking forward to it. You already know Ron, but I got to do my intros anyway. So here's my cool, outrageous man about town, Ron Russell.
Hi. Oh, it's so nice to meet you for the 90,000th time.
And then we have a chat room with a ton of people in the chat room. So say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
There you go. You got to love it. So you guys.
Wait, I want to ask the first question. So what is it you do for a living? I understand that you work at Walmart.
I'm a greeter. I'm a greeter at Walmart, and I'm the assistant in the self-checkout line.
He's the assistant at the self-checkout line. I just posted this thing on Facebook about the Walmart thing, about the self-checkout thing, about quit. You know, it was a hilarious thing. I'm making fun of it. And I got 400 likes. I don't ever get 400 likes. I got 400 likes on this thing on Walmart. I could say, I could say that my foot got cut off, and millions of people. I could say I won the lottery, and nobody will fucking write a fucking thing.
But I know, but in truth, I know that you're going to acting school because you want to be an actor one day.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm acting full time. I'm acting part time so that I can eventually become a bartender.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
so he can eventually become a bartender. I love it. So you guys, we met Robert at the premiere of Art of the Dead.
Yes.
Which we're going to play the trailer for
Which
in a
is a
little
film
bit.
I love.
It's a great film. It's a Mahar Brothers film, and he plays the priest, and it's a very, very good film.
I love that
and
movie.
then we see him at all the other premieres since then. He's one of the stars of Marcel Walsh's That's a Wrap. He was actually, I think you were at Night of the Tommy Knockers too, weren't you?
I was. Yeah. I was
Night of the Tommy, which we showed the trailer before.
Yeah.
And
I got news for you. You're in 3 good hits.
Yes.
Those are 3 hit movies. You're lucky. Most of the time, we have to do a couple of dogs, but those are 3 wonderful movies.
He's got a couple dogs. Everybody's
You have
got
a couple of dogs.
dogs.
Everybody has a couple of dogs.
Everybody has a couple dogs, but I like this.
I have one I shot in Pennsylvania that I thought was the most disgusting film in the world. I was ashamed of it. I wouldn't mention it. Guess what? They're watching it and loving it.
Yeah, they watch it.
So
all.
go figure.
Yeah. You never know.
So I did a little research. First of all, I want to say, so you actually, I didn't realize that you've been acting for a very long time.
Yes, I have.
Well, at least 6 months.
No, a very long time. You've actually studied acting. You're not like everybody else who just wakes up and says, I'm going to be an actor. You've put in time into your craft. You studied comedy improv with Harry Lembeck and the people that were
Harvey Lembeck was a good pal of mine.
And the other people.
I went to his funeral.
And the other people.
I was there too.
You were there too?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Crying my eyes out.
I was at his funeral.
So other people that were in his class that he studied were Robin Williams, John Ritter, and Sally Kirkland.
Sally's a buddy.
And then he also stars with James Best. We're very good friends with James Best's daughter and her husband.
Right.
Both daughters and both husbands. And so you've been really like putting in, so you just didn't wake up one day and like you're in like a fucking 200 movies. Like you've actually put in a lot of time and energy. And the fact that you've done a lot of horror movies, but you've studied improv, I thought was really cool. And then I looked at all your IMDb, and you've done everything.
Yep.
You've done drama, comedy, science fiction, horror, supernatural. You've pretty much done all the gamut. So how did you decide to become an actor?
Well, I was a baseball player, a moderately talented baseball player, but didn't have the goods to get to the big leagues. So when I retired at 22, I think it was, I didn't know what I was going to do. So Mel Blanc had a school for voices. This was 1972, 73. And I was always doing dialects, and I love cartoons. So I went on the audition, and the guy suggested I be on camera. And I thought, well, okay. So it's a long story. I was hit and miss. I'd work for a while. I wouldn't work for a while. And I think the main thing to get across is I neglected my training. It looked easy. I thought it was easy. And I ended up going to acting class, doing theater games and dating the girls, and then wondering why nobody was calling me. And so when I studied with Robert Lyons in the early 90s. And then I've been with Kimberly Jensen for the last 5 years. And I think it's really made a difference in my performances. Because
you're working a lot.
Yeah. I retired from driving limos in 2018 after 15 years and devoted my whole time to acting. So since then, I've done 13 features, 4 shorts, and a couple of episodes of TV shows. So I've been
Which I noticed. Actually, I'll brag for you a little because I was like, first of all, you're a soapy. You were on 2 soap operas for a few episodes each one, Days of Our Lives and Young and the Restless. Young and the Restless is my mom's favorite. Okay. And some of the TV shows over the years that you've been on, and I didn't write them all down, but I wrote down all the ones that I either know or we've had people on the show. Dallas, The Fall Guy, Knots Landing, Designing Women, Murder, She Wrote, Click, Walker, Texas Ranger, and Son of the Beach. Son of the Beach, wasn't that like a Howard Stern thing?
Yeah, he was the driving force behind it, but it was primarily Tim Stack's project. He wrote, directed, and starred in as Knots Johnson.
I remember that, and so and then some of the other things that you were in that I thought was just kind of cool. You played the Cloaked Avenger in an S Club 7. I used to listen to S Club 7 because I'm like a pop music fanatic, so I thought that was kind of a very cool credit to have.
Oh yeah.
And then you also did a movie called Invisible Dad in 1998 with Karen Black, and Ron went out with her.
I had a date with Karen Black. Would you believe it?
Yeah.
We were at a friend's house for Thanksgiving in Manhattan, and she and I just a gay boy date. You know, I mean, I'm gay. I wasn't with her for sex, and we just fell in love with each other at that Thanksgiving dinner. And she said, "Come on, take me to a gay bar." I said, "Okay." And we went to I forgot the big one, the big disco in New York, and we danced all. I loved Karen.
She was a wonderful
Karen
lady.
Black was a dummy, broad, crazy witch, crap, nut job, love bird, everything that you think of. We remained friends for quite a while. She was a sweetie.
I just watched her the other night on Trilogy of Terror. It was on TV.
There you go.
Wasn't she wonderful?
Yeah. Yeah.
She was so nice and so innocent. Joe had a wonderful way about her. A good dancer. She danced really well. You know, we were very young then. This is many years ago.
Yeah.
I love it. You also did a movie, Sunset Society, and the reason I bring it up is because you got to make a movie with Lemmy, who's like one of the biggest, music icons who's ever lived practically. I don't know if you got to meet him or not, but like I was just like, what a cool credit just to be in a movie with even if you didn't get to meet him, just to say you were in a movie with Lemmy.
Well, the interesting thing about that, the interesting thing was that when we did that, he was dead.
Oh, really?
Yes. So the what's her name? Sinatra, the star, Phoebe. She did this horror movie with Lemmy and all of the stuff that was in there, and Cleopatra didn't know quite what to do with it. So Rolf Konevsky came in. He wrote a beginning and an ending. So he wrote the bread. Phoebe's movie was the meat in the sandwich. And so it was post-mortem that I did the movie with him.
That sucks. Then you didn't get to meet him.
No. But I did work with Ron Jeremy.
Oh, there you go.
Who?
Ron Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ron Jeremy was in that movie too, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Now, I'm in the business 64 years. How come you and I never ran into each other? And we were both at the same funeral and didn't run into each other.
Well, because of the on again, off again starts and stops I did in my career, and being somewhat uneducated in it, I was just going by him.
You weren't a Hollywood whore like I was.
I was not into it.
No, I was a Hollywood whore. I went to a million parties. I hung out with everybody. That's what they call us, Hollywood whores.
Yeah, well, the people at my party were all Lembeck people.
Well, what?
All Lembeck people.
From the Lembeck workshop. So I didn't know anybody. I did have a nice relationship with Carl Malden.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he had
I never knew him.
wonderful man, very generous, very giving. I never worked with him, but I describe myself as an acquaintance of his.
All right.
And he was very extremely talented. Worked with all the heavyweights, and another guy who did comedy as well as drama and did it very, very well.
Here's a good actor, Carl Malden. I loved him on The Waterfront.
Yeah, sensational job there.
Terrific,
and in
terrific.
in Nevada Smith, he played a terrible villain, wonderfully done. And in One-Eyed Jacks with Marlon Brando's directorial movie. I don't think he directed anything after that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Carl Malden, he worked up until the end.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't fade away. He died away. There's a difference.
Yeah.
But as I said, I used to go to 3-4 parties a week. I mean, I was good friends with Jane Russell. We were buddies. So, of course, I ran all over with her and all the other celebrities. And I got to tell you, the difference between the people I run with now and back then, tremendous difference. Back then, they drank a lot, smoked a lot, but they had style, class, manners, and goodwill.
Yeah.
Today, they are very hungry actors who will do anything. Well, watch the wonderful movie, That's a Wrap. Because I mean, look at you were in it. I mean,
yes, I was.
Need I say more? Need I say more to you?
Which, by the way, I want to tell you, you did an excellent job.
Yes, you were.
Thank you.
Really,
really good.
Really good. I really enjoyed you in that movie too. I was happy, and I even told Marcel. I said the casting was, of course, Sarah French. I love, and you were good in that movie.
Thank you.
And
it was great.
Monique's
yes.
last scene when she does that wonderful soliloquy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she was brilliant.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's a good film, everybody. I can't wait for it to come out. You're going to enjoy it. And this beginner who just started in the business was wonderful in it.
Yeah. So you guys,
wait, how many years are you actually in the business?
Well, I got my SAG card in 1979.
Oh, you're a baby, 79. I started in
1979. That's like fucking 21. That's 45 years ago.
Yeah, but I started.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's when he got his SAG card. Did you do stuff before that wasn't SAG?
One or two things, but it wasn't.
I started in 1959. Jesus Christ, I'm as old as Columbus. But
well, I'm a little older than you. I was a busboy at the Last Supper.
Yeah, but I invented dirt, so where are you?
Yeah, you got me there.
I think that's hilarious. So we met.
I hope we work together because I think you and I could really pull it off well.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. Yeah,
kind of a camaraderie. I'd like to play your son. You're very young, son.
Yeah.
At 83, a lot of makeup. No, seriously, I probably will be in a film with you because Marcel has me going into one of his films in the future, and you may very well be in that film.
Good.
So we met.
I think it's called Blind. No, not Blind.
Bride.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say.
No, you're not supposed to.
But they are thinking of making a second. That's a Wrap.
Oh yes, that's true. Okay.
It's in the talk.
Oh, good. Well, I'll be dead, so it'll have to be a prequel.
Yeah. You can come back to life. No, he dies in that.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, we're not supposed to say that. Don't. We don't want to ruin it. We don't want to ruin it for anybody. All you guys.
No, he didn't die. Everybody.
Is that Robert Downey is excellent, and that's
no. I meant to say some people wished I had died.
Yes, he really doesn't die.
No,
so
it's just.
Yeah, you guys, we met Robert at the Art of the Dead premiere. It was a Mahal Brothers film, starred Richard Grieco, Tara Reid, Alex Reinhardt, Jessica Morris, which we didn't really meet her that night. So, like, we met her after that, so we didn't know she was there. It's a really fun movie, and I thought what we would do real quick is play the trailer because you can see
which movie.
Art of the Dead.
Oh, I love Art of the Dead.
You can see Robert in Art of the Dead. He plays a really creepy priest.
A weird priest.
And,
you were weird in that.
Yes, it was.
You played that really like sleazy, supernaturally weird Jeff Jamon. I don't know what the fuck you are, but I love what you did with it.
Thank you.
No, really, I can't pin it. I can't. You just were weird. Weird is the word.
Yeah,
a scary priest.
Sherry Davis just joined us in the chat room
Oh.
and wants us all to
Sherry.
Hey, Sherry.
Sherry, my love. Sherry Davis is a fabulous actress, and I loved her in Tommy Knockers. Her scene was incredible in Tommy Knockers. I think she stole a little bit of the movie, and
Yes.
you got to see Tommy Knockers. And Sherry Davis is being, let's put it this way, in rapture
There you go.
with the cowboy.
All right.
She
there
was
she is.
wonderful at it. Sherry, I love you, darling.
Hello, Sherry.
So go ahead and just do a little intro, say, for Art of the Dead, and then they're going to play it, and we'll come back.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a movie about paintings. There's 6 of them, if I'm not mistaken, and they all depict 7, the 7 deadly sins.
That's right.
And if you view one of those paintings, you are affected by that, whether it be gluttony or lust or what are this other? I can't remember.
I don't know what the 7 sins are.
I wouldn't know because I don't commit them.
I'm acquainted with them, but we don't really speak on a regular basis.
Lying,
But anyways.
drinking, taking somebody's wife, sex, I don't know, everything good.
Yeah. So gluttony, greed, sloth, avarice. There's a couple of them there. So if you're in near one of the paintings, you are affected by that particular sin.
Richie, Elizabeth, come see what I got.
So raw, so primal.
And finally, the highlight of tonight.
A stunning collection of these 7 masterpieces.
What do you think, Gina?
The animal series.
Yes, I know. Last chance.
Do we have any other bidders?
Well, it is for a good cause.
And sold to the Wilsons.
7 paintings, 7 sins, all represented by animals. I've tracked these paintings for years, and every owner that has had them in his or her possession has disappeared or worse.
If thy eye offends thee.
You have to give me the Wilsons' address where those paintings were sent.
And you need to leave my gallery before I call the cops.
Call the police and I'll tell them you're responsible for what happened to Murray Trenton last night.
Oh my God! Murray!
That's what I call a masterpiece.
Yay!
There's a trailer.
And they showed us all of them at the end.
You know what? You have to be a weird priest. You stuck a crucifix in your eye, you moron. What the fuck was that all about?
I was under the influence of the painting.
If my eyes or whatever, if my eyes see a piece of
If
ass,
my eyes offend thee.
If my eyes offend you, if you saw like Sherry Davis's boobs, that's offensive.
No, that would have kept me from poking my eyes out. I would want both of them.
I mean,
I'd want both eyes so I could still maintain my depth perception.
Yes.
I mean, you got to admit, Sherry Davis has some body, and she's gorgeous. Sherry Davis
And a
is one of the
wonderful
sexiest
gal.
ladies we have in Hollywood. Huh?
And
Yes,
a
she's
sweet, wonderful gal.
Oh, I love her to pieces. She's a Texas broad. You know what I like about her? She's tough. She beats people up, and I love that. Because I'm from Brooklyn. I used to beat people up when I was young. And
Oh.
Sherry beats people up. She's good. In the film, she's very tough in film. I don't mean in private life, folks. I mean film.
She knows how to take care of
No,
herself.
she reminds me of Barbara Stanwyck in a way. Barbara Stanwyck had that same acting ability. Barbara Stanwyck was tough. She'd beat people up.
Yeah.
So I think of Sherry Davis as a Barbara Stanwyck of today.
I love it. So you're also in Arena Wars, Night of the Tommy Knockers. I actually saw The Curse of the Komodo back in 2004. That was way before I ever knew Ron and Paul Logan. So I actually have seen that movie. And then you've got Christmas movies. You also did Tom Haley and Jessica Cameron's movie Final X, The Final Experiment with Al Burke and Thomas Haley and James Cameron and James Duvall. Jessica Cameron, not James Cameron. Attack of the Unknown, which I actually saw, Ron didn't see, with Robert Grieco, Douglas Tate, Paul Gunn, Tara Reid, Robert Lasardo. They've all been on the show except for Robert Lasardo. So you've done some wonderful things. What, as an actor, like, give me a male and a female actor that you think would have been fun to work with that you haven't worked with yet. They can be living or dead. And then while you're thinking about that also, what's any movie that's ever been made in history that you would be like, oh my God, I wish I was in that movie? And it can be an old movie, a new movie, any movie you want.
I would say the actor I would want to work with would be Spencer Tracy.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my God, Spencer Tracy. I love him.
And the actress I would like to work with would be Myrna Loy.
Oh,
Myrna
wow.
Loy. Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never met either one. They died before I was young, before I was in Hollywood. But I would have loved to have met Spencer Tracy. Fine actor.
And if I were to be in a classic motion picture, I think I'd pick Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I've ever actually seen that.
Oh, Lawrence of Arabia? Epic.
It's pretty spectacular. Oh, yeah. No CGI. They crashed the train. They blew up a train.
That's the only word for Lawrence of Arabia is epic.
Yes.
Although I remember the gay people in the gay bars used to say, did you see Florence of Arabia? So I thought they were being cute because they thought he was gay because he was blonde and then those robes were blowing in the wind. So they said Florence of Arabia.
I don't think I know Myrna Loy. What has she been in?
Oh, Myrna Loy was with, what's his name?
She was in all of the Thin Man movies with William Powell.
Thin Man movies, that's it. And she played with Gene Harlow's lover, who was the actor there with the mustache. What the hell is his name?
Oh, Clark Gable. Clark Gable.
No, not Gable. She was with somebody before Gable. She was with the one. He was Gene Harlow's lover. They were going to get married, and then she died. The tall fella with the mustache. He was in every Thin Man movie with her. Wasn't Gable. His name was
He was the lead?
Huh?
He was the lead actor?
He was what?
He was the lead actor?
He was the lead actor. He was her husband.
Oh,
it was
that was William Powell, wasn't it?
William Powell.
William Powell,
That's
of
the one you
course.
couldn't think of. Yes.
Yeah, William Powell. Another good actor.
Fantastic.
So you're in a lot of horror movies. Do you actually like horror movies? Do you watch horror movies, or are you just because you get cast in a lot of them you're in them? But do you actually, if you were sitting around on Saturday night when we sit around, if we're not going to an event, we watch TCM. What is it? Noir Alley. We watch Noir Alley on Turner Classic Movies on Saturday night.
Because I like it because I sit there and I say, "Oh, I remember that one. This one, I knew everybody in those old movies."
But
socially,
but we don't watch horror movies. I watch them, on my own, but because Ron doesn't really love them to death. So do you watch horror movies? Like, are you a horror movie fan, or are you pretty much just you get to act them and it's fun, but you wouldn't really watch them on your own?
I hesitate to say, but I haven't seen any of them.
Guess what?
He hasn't either.
I don't either.
But I like being in them. They're fun to do. Usually, I play the bad guy, and I've been disemboweled. I've been vivisectioned. I've been exploded. I've died in some wonderful ways. I was possessed by so many souls that my body couldn't take it, and I just exploded.
Oh no, that's good. I like that. So that's fun.
Going back to Myrna Loy, did you ever see Midnight Lace, the Doris Day film?
No.
Myrna Loy played Doris Day's aunt, and I think that was one of the best performances I have ever seen of her. It was a color film, so we could see her beautiful red hair. And she was a very sarcastic, wealthy aunt who played it beautifully. So not who she's ever been in film.
No.
Totally out of character. And it's a wonderful film, Midnight Lace, with Rex Harrison and Doris Day. It's a thriller. I would suggest everybody see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
But that was a good choice, Myrna Loy. Good for Myrna.
So let's go modern day now.
Yeah.
All right.
And let's say you're gonna go make some kind of a movie and you're gonna have an affair with any woman in Hollywood. It's part of the script for the film, and you could have a wonderful attraction to any woman in Hollywood. That's let's do a living one this time.
You can't have Charlize because she's mine.
Okay.
So who are you who are you gonna pick to like be your wife or love interest in a new romantic movie getting made?
Do I get to keep my 40s body?
If you want.
Okay. Yeah, then it would be Penelope Cruz.
Oh wow,
Penelope, I love her. She's a good actress.
She's fantastic.
Pardon me, you ever come to Palm Springs?
Yeah, my mom lives out there.
I can't stand the sand. I got sand throat. You know when the sand is so fine it goes in your nose and throat.
Yeah.
It's annoying how the winds are blowing here like hurricanes.
So wait a second. Why does it have to be a 40-year-old body? Why can't it be however old you are now's body?
Because it's not the same thing.
Oh, really? Well, I'm 83.
It's not the age, it's the mileage.
No, I'm 83 and I have a 16-year-old's body. And I'm also delusional.
I'm afraid I'm too much of a realist.
No, that's fun though.
Oh, I could never do a nude. Are you kidding? I would be so ashamed.
No, I had my I did my share of the Skinamax movies in the 90s.
Would you do a nude front? Would you do a nude?
He just said he just did in the 90s. He did Skinamax movies.
What are those?
Like softcore porn.
Oh,
the softcore stuff.
So you're not shy about being frontal naked?
I am. Well, first of all, they need a different lens if they're going to shoot me frontally. It's more of a telescopic sort of a thing. But no, I got no problem. Or then anyway, maybe now it might be different. But then I had no problem showing my ass. There was a first AD I worked with, and he told me that he's seen my ass more than he's seen his own.
Well, I have no problem worrying about that because at 83, no one's going to ask me to do a frontal naked for sure. So that's not a problem. But I know a lot of actors we ask, young, good-looking, handsome, 25-year-old sexy actors are on our show. And you'd be surprised how they are shy. Many will say, no, I won't do frontal. And then, of course, the guys that are super hung, they say, oh, yeah, I'll do it anytime. So I don't know if that's an indication of wee little pee-pee or what makes a man not want to do frontal. I wouldn't do it not because of size, only because I wouldn't want my daughters to see it.
Yeah, I don't have that problem. I just, I think we should change the subject.
You know what? You have a great wit. Something we haven't seen. I think you should do comedy.
I'd love to.
Well, no, you have a good wit. You have a very good wit. I like playing with you. We go back and forth. You're good.
Oddly enough, I am, Michael Madsen and I are the comic relief in Arena Wars.
Oh, there we go. Okay, which we haven't seen
and he's
that yet.
Virginia Madsen's older brother.
That's right.
Yes. We actually watched...
I love Virginia Madsen.
We actually watched
She's wonderful.
something. We watched something last night. No, what was that movie called last night?
I forgot.
We watched a movie last night and about it was set in the 50s and he's in it with I can't remember anybody who was in it. Mulholland Falls or something.
Mulholland Falls.
Mulholland Falls.
We interviewed Madsen's ex-husband.
Oh, Antonio Sabato Jr.
And I had to say it to him. I said, she had the greatest tits in the world. He agreed. But I don't think he was happy with that question. But she made a film where she was nude and rolling down a hill and running, if you remember the film. I think it was called Body Heat or Heat Wave or something.
Yeah,
and she has
something
an
like
incredible figure.
Yes.
Besides being a beautiful girl, I love Virginia Madsen.
Yeah.
So wait, go back then. So
Sunburn, that's what it was called. Sunburn.
Okay.
So you got Penelope Cruz. Now you're going to just make a movie and you can star with any male and female you like, not necessarily a love interest. You're just going to get an opportunity to work with any two stars, male and female that are living. Who would you like to work with? Who's somebody on a bucket list? Like, oh my gosh, if I had a chance to work with this person, this is who I'd want to work with.
Let's hear this one.
If he came out of retirement, it would be Gene Hackman.
Oh, there you go.
But he's firmly retired.
Yes.
So somebody who's active, then that would be Tom Hanks.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Would you ever like to work with Brando?
Oh yes.
Me too.
That would be really fun.
That would be.
We actually watched The Burbs the other night with Tom Hanks, which it was cute.
Yeah. I think Brando actually came up with the best line in movies ever. I think the movie was called Heist with Robert De Niro. De Niro played a nightclub owner, and it's during the day. The tables are up on the chairs are on the table, and De Niro's doing some paperwork. In comes Brando waddling in, and he stops and he looks at De Niro and he goes, "Jesus Christ, you look like shit. What's your secret?"
My niece was married to Christopher, his son. So
Uh-huh.
she has given us lots of stories about Brando.
I
And
bet.
Brando, she said, was a regular guy. You know, he was no movie star by any
Yeah.
means. He liked to stay in
Yeah.
bed and eat and watch TV.
The boss I had when I was driving limos drove Brando fairly often, and he insisted on sitting in the front seat and just was like a regular guy.
He's a regular Joe.
And,
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah,
Do you know
he
Lorraine
didn't
Landon?
like acting. Who's
Oh,
that?
there you go. Do you know Lorraine Landon? I don't know if you've met
I,
her.
Beautiful blonde,
no,
gorgeous
I know who she is, but we've never met.
Okay, because she
You
also
should.
dated Christian Brando.
Yeah, she's my darling friend. I love Lorraine to pieces. And she dated Christopher after my niece Mary divorced him.
Well, you
So
know
she
who
gave us
another great
stories.
guy is? I drove Hector Elizondo on one occasion,
God, I
and
love
another
him.
guy who wanted to sit in the front seat. And it turns out that he went to a tryout for the New York Giants in the Polo Grounds, and I attended a tryout for the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. And neither of us went anywhere, but we ended up in the same business.
Oh, that's fun.
I-
Isn't Hector Elizondo? Isn't he the hotel manager for Pretty Woman?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my favorite movie of all time. I know every line. I've seen it like 8,000 times.
That's because
Yeah.
he wanted to play the part of the prostitute.
No, I just love Pretty Woman. I think Pretty Woman is so great. And if Richard Gere was going to be
He does Julie.
hey, if Richard Gere was going to be like my knight in shining armor, it would have been okay.
Yeah.
Because Richard Gere's
Over my dead body.
yeah. But I love it. But I
You know,
love
we're
Pretty Woman.
married. Did you know? You know, we're married.
I did know that. Yeah. I'm sure if you
Yeah.
made a play on
11 years too.
Richard Gere, you'd put up a fight.
I actually wouldn't like Richard Gere back then. I would need him now because I basically, if they're not like 60 or 70 or 80, I don't like them.
I don't know what he's doing with me. I mean, he
Oh.
likes old men. I have no idea why he married me.
That's
None
right, because
whatsoever.
you're not old.
I'm not old.
So I have a question.
Substance.
How come you don't do Instagram? Like you're only on Facebook, right? Because I couldn't find a Twitter or an Instagram for you.
No, I don't think a grown man should tweet, first of all. It just sounds
say?
silly.
I don't think a grown man should tweet.
I don't
And
bother
then-
with that crap either.
I started a Instagram account and I couldn't find out how to put pictures and that stuff, so I just abandoned it. And it turns out
Okay.
they didn't want me on there because I don't take pictures of my food.
Yeah, I don't follow anybody who takes pictures of their food anyway, so it's okay. I basically only follow actors and musicians primarily, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's stupid. And when I'm on Twitter, I use it for business, but I don't tweet. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to the restaurant. And,
They do that
and
on
all that stupid
Facebook
shit.
too. They put the food people eating. I'm so
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah, I'm not big on social media. Facebook takes up too much of my time, first of all. So I have to find a way to wean myself off of that. But it's great for hooking up with people, for people for work, for people that I haven't seen for a while, or to just look up somebody who I thought, gee, I wonder what they're doing. And sometimes you can find them and
Right.
they're doing well.
Oh no, I think it's terrific. So
Well, you get work. You know, Paul
You can.
Sorvino came on our show, and Paul Sorvino said he bought a farm in Pennsylvania, and he lived there for a while and couldn't get work. He sold the farm and came back to Hollywood. They gave him work every day. So in this business, out of sight, out of mind.
That's
So
right.
it is wise to be on Facebook or whatever. You do get work.
I did the voiceover intro for his wife Dee Dee's podcast, Drinks with Dee Dee.
Oh, she's a doll. I love her.
Isn't she nice?
Oh,
Yeah.
she is a super doll. You
Yeah.
know, he was going to be in my movie that I wrote, The Curse of Magic, and he loved the script. He said it was hilariously funny, but he passed away, so I never got his intake on it. I spoke
Mhm.
with her, and she couldn't have been nicer. She said he was
Yeah.
laughing. He thought it was hilarious. He wanted to do it. Whether he did or didn't, she was gracious and
Yes.
lovely and such a nice lady.
Yeah.
I know, she's
And
fabulous.
he was terrific
Do you do a lot
too.
of voice work? Do you do a lot of voice work? Because you have a good voice. Everybody in the chat room is talking about how great your voice is.
Yeah.
I have. I was up until I think last year the voice of Yahoo Fantasy Football. I was the voice of the Toyota Fantasy Football Hall of Fame, and I've done stuff for a power company in Ohio. Gallup, no, not Gallup. What's the Sorrento? The almond.
Yeah.
The liqueur, the Italian liqueur,
okay.
amaretto.
Now, are you Rob? Are you presently married?
That's a good question. We consider ourselves married, but it's not sanctioned by the state or by the church.
Okay.
What is that?
So common law, I guess, is.
That's like common law. That's
I
like
I don't hear too well.
That's like
So-
last week when we had.
Wait, let me finish. So I can tell all the ladies out there that are wishing and swooning. It's taken, ladies.
Yes, I am.
Oh, I know. I bet you I'm going to get a lot of stuff saying he's gorgeous, he's sexy, that voice, and I'm going to say, too bad he's married.
That's how Monique is
wait.
too.
Do you fool around?
No,
Say
absolutely
yes.
not.
No,
No,
say
I'm not.
yes.
I'm not going to.
No,
I lied
this way
once.
the-
I lied
No,
once
but
when I
this way
told.
all the women, Robbie, all the women are going to have it, thinking they have a
'Cause
chance.
Mom's listening.
They're
Hi,
gonna,
Mom.
They're going to think they have a chance. Let them think they have a chance. So yeah,
I
fool them.
lied. Yeah, she.
Mom, we live in Palm Springs. We live in. I can't say where we
No,
live.
you can't say.
No,
She can't tell you.
She can't
either.
tell us either. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So what,
Yeah,
what did
it's
you lie about?
Wait. Does your mother live north or south?
South,
Okay, I know where she is.
near near Gene Autry and the 111.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, not far from us. We're right up the road.
So wait.
Yeah.
Do you have 4 minutes? What did you lie? What did you lie about?
I told a girl that I loved her when I didn't, and it really turned into a very bad scenario.
Crucifix in your eye.
They're supposed to be able to see that, but apparently I didn't show it, or I did. Anyway, it turned out to be very uncomfortable and a disaster, and I regret it to this day, obviously. So I don't lie to women.
There you
So
go,
in
that's
regards to, so I don't mess around.
So
I gotta-
Monique and her boyfriend, they're common law also. They were on last week.
Oh,
And,
good.
she's fabulous.
I don't think
love
we
Monique.
use the word common law anymore. That was a nasty word back in my day. If we used to refer to a couple, well, they live in common law, meaning they're less than human. But
Yeah.
today it's called just partnership.
Partnership,
The paper
yeah.
means nothing.
I always preferred.
I married Jimmy legally so I could take him for everything in case he divorced me.
Smart, very smart.
That's the only reason I married him. Otherwise, I would have lived with him. I need a paper. But if he leaves me, I'm an old man. I need his money. All
I
of
was
his
always
money.
partial. I was always
And his-
partial to the term "living in sin."
Yes, I like living in sin.
Much better than common law.
These are antiquated.
Wait, how many times have you
Words.
played a priest, or a preacher? Many?
3, 4. I think about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, see, that's because you make a good-looking preacher, and he
I
played a priest
played
once.
a priest also.
Once.
In the movie Clown Road. What the hell was it called?
Clown Hotel.
Well, I forgot the movie, but I played I was a witty Light and the Loafer priest.
Oh.
Which I loved. Oh yeah, I played Light and the Loafer, and it was kind of fun.
I bet.
love it.
Well,
Yeah,
I go to Catholic Church and talk to a priest when I do it, and explain to him what my actions are, so that I do it the right way.
That's cool.
Because otherwise, because my dad was a cop, and one of the biggest laughs he would get is watching cop shows and seeing how terrible they were as far as procedure and radio. What is it? Anyway, the way they work a radio. So
Yes.
he helped me on a movie I did with Rolf Konevsky years ago called Video Store. I think they changed it to Video Store. I think they changed it to Tomorrow by Midnight. Alexis Arquette was in it.
Oh, I love her.
Among some very excellent actors. And I talked to LAPD about radio protocol, about their divisions, about all that stuff. And there was a SWAT unit that actually worked on the movie. They were shooting all the weapons. They brought the weapons, M16s, and I think it was called an MK9, and 120 rounds of ammunition in about a 15-second interval. It was fantastic. And they said when they saw the movie at the premiere, they said, "You did a really good job. Are you a cop?" I said, "No, I just learned how to talk like that." But my dad was a cop. His dad was a cop. My dad was a cop, and their dog was a cop.
I love it.
I played cop so many times. I think I'm a cop. But
we're out of time.
But the only time I used to go see a priest was when I needed a date.
Smart. They say you meet the best dates in the produce section or in church.
There you go.
But don't stick your crucifix in your eye anymore. That can hurt.
No, it grew back. It grew back nicely.
He's got Art of the Dead is out. You can see it now. You can also see Night of the Tommyknockers. Probably a lot of these things actually you can see. So
Tommyknockers, you got to see Tommyknockers.
Attack of the Unknown.
And
please, yes.
See those films, folk. You know I don't lie. One thing Ron never does is lie. If the film stinks, I tell you it stinks. These films are really good. Please watch them and let me know that I'm right.
There you go.
I have good taste in films.
Robert, we want to thank you for coming on. Congratulations with everything. I'm sure we're going to see you soon.
You're a very warm, loving, funny guy. I like you, and I can't wait to see you at a carpet so we can have some fun.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, thanks for the invite. I appreciate being on your show.
When I see you, just take the crucifix out of your eye, please.
I will.
All right.
I'll let you do it. Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye-bye, Robert.
Thanks so much,
long.
everybody. Next week, we got a great show. We're going to have Stevie B and Oscar Torres from The Hangover. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.